What's going on, Grizzlies fans? Today it is another Grizz game update, but this time the team is finally home. It's their second home game. They're taking on the Miami Heat tonight at FedExForum. I'm Kelcey. That's Mike. Let's get right into it, Mike. This is going to be a good one. And I say that because these two teams feast in such different ways. Right now, the Grizzlies are, a top offense. The Heat, the top defense in the entire NBA. And now they're going to go head to head. The Heat are coming off of a back-to-back. This is the second half for them. They won last night. The Grizzlies coming off an incredible overtime victory just a couple nights ago. And now here we are.
Here we are. This is the kind of game where it's going to be intense. Both teams are going to really get after it. It's not going to be a lack of effort because the way both of these teams are constructed, the way they both are coached. Taylor Jenkins has a lot of the same characteristics that Eric Spoelstra has had for the better part of a decade and a half, 2 decades now in Miami. And it kind of dates me. This is a matchup for me because, Miami was a team that I was around and closely associated with for 10 years. And now the Grizzlies. I came from Miami to come work for Grind City Media and the Grizzlies. And, I still have a lot of friends there who are going to be in that front office, who are going to be on that bench. And I'm looking forward to this game. But, hey, the Grizzlies have an opportunity to start this homestand. I believe 8 out of their next 9 are going to be at home starting with tonight. So I'm just looking forward to a great matchup with two teams who really want to get after it.
Yeah, and I mean, it's so funny that you said 2 teams that get after it because when I was looking at kind of, the stats and how Miami plays and how the Grizzlies play, one thing that stuck out to me was the second chance points. And so the offensive rebounds. Right now, the Grizzlies lead in offensive rebounds and the Miami Heat lead in second chance points. So the Grizzlies right now, and I think he's second, he's averaging about 5 offensive rebounds per game, is Steven Adams. And then in the top 25, the Miami Heat have 3 guys, including Jimmy Butler. So you think of offensive rebounders, a lot of the times you think of the bigs, you think of Bam Adebayo. But the Grizzlies are going to have their hands full on the defensive end, finishing those defensive possessions today and not allowing those second chance opportunities. And it's going to come from all 4 of those guys, including the guards.
Yeah, when you look at Miami, this is going to be a tough defensive assignment for the Grizzlies because Miami has so many live ball option scorers, a lot of creators, a lot of guys that can do a lot of different things to create their own shot. All of them can pretty much stretch to the 3-point line. And it starts with Kyle Lowry and obviously Jimmy Butler. Those 2 guys are veteran players who've been around the block in this league for a long time. Tyler Herro's coming off of a 20-point-plus game last night. Bam Adebayo, had a ridiculous stat line last night, 24 and 19 rebounds. So those guys are active. And then when you spread out, Miami's deep too. But I know the Grizzlies are looking forward to this matchup. Ja loves going against this team. Kendrick Nunn is no longer there. But when they played last year, he really looked forward to facing Miami. And guess what? Miami's going to have to defend some pretty versatile guys with the Grizzlies as well. We know what Ja Morant's doing as one of the NBA's top scorers and most effective players. But this is going to be a game where Jaren Jackson Jr. is going to have to step up and be all-star level Jaren Jackson Jr. because you know what you're going to get from Bam Adebayo. So the second, third, and fourth best players for the Grizzlies are going to really need to step up and hold their own in this matchup. What do you see?
Yeah, agreed. I think Jaren's going to have his hands full. I think most likely he'd be covering PJ Tucker, but I do think he'll get some one-on-one time with Bam Adebayo as well. Just while we're talking about him, Bam is questionable tonight with a knee, but so is Kyle Anderson. And questionable doesn't mean they're out. Questionable is just so you know, maybe he might be out.
Right, they'll go through warm-ups. Mm-hmm. They'll go through the pregame routine and see where they are at that situation. I do know Miami, just like the Grizzlies, they tend to err on the side of second night of a back-to-back. You don't want anything to inflame this early in your season. So if Bam does sit, that's a big-time break for the Grizzlies.
That's Kyle as well. Kyle Lowry is also questionable with his elbow.
Yeah.
So there's 2 guys that possibly we'll see closer to game time. And here's the thing that you had mentioned the stat lines last night. Bam and Butler combined for 58 points and 29 rebounds. So that is those 2 of those guys, plus Kyle Lowry, who didn't have the most effective night last night. But they're going against this Grizzlies team where almost every single game the Grizzlies have won, they've had all 5 starters in double-digit scoring. So again, I think it's containing their stars and then playing as a team like the Grizzlies. When the Grizzlies have done that, they found success.
And they've also won the rebounding battle in every game this season, if I'm not mistaken. So, if they get after it and as you said before, limit those shot opportunities to 1 possessions, control the defensive rebounds, and get in transition. Also, deflections. This is a Grizzlies team that had 26 combined steals and block shots in that game the other night against Golden State. And they really turned that game around, overcame that 19-point deficit with their defensive disruptions. And, that was steals, that was block shots. And that's what's going to trigger guys like Ja Morant. That's going to trigger Desmond Bane to get in transition and knock down those uncontested threes. That's going to help guys like DeAnthony Melton and even Zaire Williams be able to spot up in the corner for those open threes. So the Grizzlies have to be able to generate turnovers in order to help facilitate what they do on offense, and that's going to be a key.
For sure. The game tips off at 7 o'clock, everyone. Like I said, right here at FedExForum. You can watch it on Valley Sports Southeast. You can listen on ESPN Radio 92.9. Please follow along all of our social media. It's at MemGrizz, Twitter, Instagram, all of the above. And then Mike, as you can see, that is not his house. That looks like a hotel. So give it to us, Mike. What are you doing?
It is a hotel. Listen, Nashville Grizz fans, I'm in your city. So we're going to be doing a watch party, kicking off one of our biggest game already of the season at a watch party, 7 p.m. tonight. Grizzlies versus Heat at Noble's Beer Hall, 974 Main Street, Nashville, Tennessee. It's going to be hosted by our partners in the Grind City Media podcast network, the Fast Break Breakfast podcast. You're going to see a special appearance by yours truly and my partner CJ Hurt as well. And we're also out here for the Tennessee State Murray State football game over at Nissan Stadium. So we know we got a lot of Grizzlies fans that are going to be in the city because of Murray State and Ja Morant's connection. And obviously Tennessee State is having their homecoming. So we're out in Nashville. We're doing it big time. And look, you got to come check us out. Again, Noble's Beer Hall, 974 Main Street, Nashville, 7 o'clock tonight.